Dear students, as a small detour from our topic, we will try to understand what is the schematic diagram of a directional control valve or DCVs. So it is important to understand this because the different directional control valves have different schematics. Now, I have already explained what is a directional control valve, based on which you have already understood that a valve may have multiple input and multiple output. Okay, so in certain positions of this valve, now the valve may be operated by a solenoid, or it may be operated by a mechanical lever. Okay, it may be operated by a mechanical lever, or it can be operated by a solenoid, or it can be operated by a return spring. There are many methods of operating the directional control valve. Now, whatever be the case of valve, sometimes fluid will flow from one of the valve to one of the ports to another port, or it may flow from one of the another port to a totally different port, or it can also happen that the fluid will not flow at all, or it may also happen that the fluid may take a total different route, and that is all based on how the lever is moved, or how the spool is moved, or how the return spring is working, and all those things. So based on that, when we draw a schematic diagram of a directional control valve, what should we take care of? One by one, let us see. The first question that we always try to answer is, how many positions does the DCV has? It means that a DCV may have a position like this, where suppose I am just drawing one arrow. It means that here from one port to the next port the fluid is flowing. Okay, so you can see that there are only two ports here. Now there might be another position of the DCV in which the fluid is not at all flowing. That means it is totally stopped. So let me draw that position. So what does this show? This shows that nothing is flowing between the two ports. So this is one position and this is the second position. Okay, how many ports are there? Two ports are there here, one for entering and one for leaving. Now there may be totally different kind of DCV in which the DCV may be in such a way that it may be even flowing back. That will depend on the type of DCV. But anyway, let me draw one of them which I have already drawn, in which one of the positions says that the fluid will not flow and another one says that the fluid will flow. Okay, the arrow shows the flow of the fluid. Okay, now there may be a totally different DCV. Let me draw that case. Now this DCV also has two positions. Why? Because I have drawn two boxes. Okay, so the number of boxes will actually tell you how many positions are there. Now suppose in one position the arrow is shown like this and the next port is shown like this. That means how many ports are there here? One port, second port, third port. This is three ports. Okay, or three ways are there, in which in one of the position between this port and this port the fluid is flowing, whereas in the next position this port is not flowing anything, but from this port there is a flow towards the next port. So I should draw it as a straight line. So from this port it is basically flowing to this port. Okay, so these are the other two positions. So this is one of the position. Let's say this is first position and this is the second position. Now you might be asking, why is this position called as the first position? Nothing, I can even write this one as the first one. It basically depends on where the return spring is. That is the next thing to be discussed. Anyway, there can be 3 position DCVs. The 3 position DCVs I will draw like 3 positions with 3 boxes. And now suppose this one has 4 ports. So in one of the position, the arrow basically goes in this direction between these 2 ports, and in the second and third port, third and fourth port, the fluid is flowing in the other direction. So here I have chosen to have 4 ports. One of the position is like this. The next position is that nothing is flowing. So I will draw like this, that this is also closed, this is also closed, this is also closed, this is also closed. And then the third position, let me draw something like this, that from here the fluid is flowing in this direction, and from here in the return it is flowing in this direction. So here I am having 3 positions. Okay, so the first thing that we have to take care is what is the position, or how many positions does the directional control valve has, and that is given by the number of boxes that are drawn. The next question that we have to ask is, how many number of ways are there in DCVs? That means how many number of ports are there in DCVs? Let me draw one. Now here in this diagram you can see that the number of positions are 2. Am I correct? The number of positions are 2, and in each position, if you would see how many number of ports are there, this is the first port and this is the second port, correct? Or this is the first port, this is the second port. So in one of the positions there is flow of fluid between the ports, and in the second position there is no flow. So at one time the DCV allows the fluid to flow, at the other time the DCV does not allow the fluid to flow. Now here these ways, or which are called as the ports, okay, which are called as the ports may be marked as, one of the ports may be called as the P port. P stands for pressure port. That is where the fluid is entering the DCV. That is where the fluid is entering with full pressure into the DCV. And then in the output, it might be mostly connected to an actuator. That means it might be connected to a cylinder which is to be moved, okay, or some cylinder which has to be moved. So that actuator will be basically written as A. So A stands for actuator. So the P port is there and the A port is there. Here I have written only 2 ports. Okay, how many positions are there? There are 2 positions. So what I will write is that this is a 2-port or 2-way 2-position DCV. 2-way 2-position DCV. Okay, let me draw another one. This is the next DCV that I have drawn. Here you can see that I am having 3 ports. One is this port, and the second is this port, and this is the third port. See, here you can already see that this is the P port and this is the A port, because this is where the fluid is entering the DCV and this is where it is going to the actuator. So P port and A port I have already drawn. Now this one, from the second position, again this is going to be the P port and this is going to be the A port. That is correct. Here I am not able to write what is the port here, but here I can see that this is where the fluid is returning. So the returning port is named as T port, which basically talks about the fluid returning to the tank. So T basically stands for tank. Okay, so now for this 3-way port, I am having port A, port port P, port A, and port T, which is also called as the pressure way, the actuator way, and the tank way. So PAT. Okay, so here also I can write basically this one is a three way. It's a three way and two position DCV. Correct? It's a three way two position DCV. Next, let me draw another one. Now in this port again you can say that this one will be the P port, this one will be the A port, this one will be the tank port, and the next one is basically named as the B port. B port means it is again from the actuator, it is coming back from the actuator, that's all. So I will basically name it as the B port. Okay, now this numbering, this naming as A, P, T, B and all these things can be different for different textbooks. Sometimes it may be basically as A1, 2, 3 and 4. Sometimes it is simple numbering. Sometimes it is with respect to letters. So in the textbook that I am using, from which I am trying to teach you these topics, there it's mostly numbering and not lettering. But since the lettering made more sense, that's why I have explained lettering here, but it can also be numbers. Okay, now tell me about this one. What do you see here? This is basically how many ways? This is a four-way. Why? Because there are four ports. This is a four-way two position DCV. This is a four-way two position DCV. Similarly, now what is this? You can see that how many positions are there? There are basically three positions because of the three boxes. Am I correct? There are three positions because of the three boxes. And how many ports are there in each box? There are four ports or four ways. So I will write that this is a four-way three position directional control valve DCV. This is a four-way three position DCV. Okay, so now you have understood by what do we mean by how many number of ways are there in a DCV. Next that we have to take care is, the next question that we have to take care is, which position is the normal position of the DCV? That means suppose if we have drawn three boxes or two boxes. Okay, out of these three or four or two boxes, which box is normally the position of the DCV, where it is lying for the next movement, which is the normal position of the DCV? That out of these three positions, which position is the position that the DCV is generally in? For understanding that, we will have to look into what makes the changes in the position. So one of the changes may be because of a return spring, or it may be some spool attached to a lever, or it may be even a solenoid that is making the movement between the DCVs. So we have to understand them one by one. So let me draw first. Now this is a two position DCV where I am drawing something. You can look here. I am drawing something of the shape of a spring. So what does this mean is that this is a return spring. This is called as a return spring, and the return spring may compress. When it compresses, the job of the return spring is to provide a force to bring it back to its original shape. The spring will obviously come back to its original shape after it is compressed and left. Okay, so always the return spring in its normal position will define what is the normal position. That means if this return spring, sorry, I should write the return spring here. So this return spring, okay, whichever position is attached to that return spring, that position is called as the normal position. So this is the normal position. This is the normal position because the side where the spring is attached, that position is the position in which normally the DCV is there in the relaxed state. If I would have for some reason drawn the spring in this side, then this would have been my normal position. But now I have drawn it here, so now you understand. Now there can be another movement that is happening here. For example, let me draw it. Now this is a two position, two-way two position DCV. Am I correct? Now if I am going to draw the spring on this side, if I am going to draw the spring on this side, it means that this is going to be the normal position. Am I correct? Now there might be something to move the positions. One of the things that is generally used is basically a lever. So the lever is drawn schematically like this. So it's a lever which can move the spool or which can move the DCV in such a way that it achieves various positions. So you can see that if I am going to move this lever, if I am going to push this lever towards this side, the spring will get compressed, this spring will get compressed, and this position will be the current position. Whereas if I leave the lever, then because of this return spring, the position of DC will be such that this original position will come back. So with this lever movement, this is what is happening, or this position is what is happening, or the fluid is entering the pressure port and leaving the actuator port. That is what is happening. But when we leave the lever, the normal position is coming wherein no fluid is passing through the pressure port and nothing is going to the actuator port. So here also the normal position is basically this one. Okay, this is the normal position. Why? Because this is the position that is attached to the return spring. Okay, now this valve may be called as a two-way, two-position DCV. That we already know that it is called as a two-way, two-position DCV. Now because in the normal position the fluid is not flowing, I will call this as a 2x2 not connected DCV, or two-way, two-position not connected DCV. Why not connected? Because the normal position is this one. Now if the same one I had drawn, but instead of having the spring drawn in this side, if I would have drawn the spring on this side and I would have drawn the lever on this side, then this would have been the normal position, correct, in which it is flowing, correct? Okay, so not connected. NC stands for normally closed. NC stands for normally closed. Okay, if this would have been the case, then I would have called this a two-way, two-position DCV, but since the normal position is allowing the fluid to flow, this will be a normally open DCV. This is going to be a normally open DCV. Let me draw it properly. So this is the 2x2 normally open DCV. Why do I call it as normally open? Because in the normal position, the valve is such that the pressure and the actuator valve are both open to each other. Okay, so this is a 2x2 normally open DCV. Now let me draw another one. Now here I am having a 3 position. Here I am having a 3 position 4-way or 4-way 3 position DCV. Okay, I am having a 4-way 3 position DCV, and now suppose I am going to draw something like this. I am having one spring here and I am having another spring here. Okay, and both of them are then in their relaxed state. So what can you say? What we can say is that this is going to be the normal position. This is going to be the normal position. Why? Now you might be saying that, sir, just now we said that wherever the return spring is attached, that will be the normal position. But here there are 2 springs attached, which are basically both trying to push and pull, because of which the center position is going to be the normal position. And what is the normal position here? It is normally closed. So basically I will write this as 4-way 3 position normally closed DCV. Okay, so when you look at these schematic diagrams, you should be able to understand what they mean. Now let me draw another one wherein we have a solenoid. So let me draw that. So now here I will draw again 4-way 2 position. Okay, and suppose I am going to draw the spring here. So this is going to be the since I am drawing only one spring, this is going to be the normal position. And here in this side, suppose I am going to draw a new kind of structure which basically looks something like this. Now this schematic diagram, okay, this schematic diagram basically belongs to what is called as a solenoid. And I have already taught about solenoid. What solenoid does is, a solenoid will have basically, it will be an electrical equipment wherein when you give the electrical pulse, or when you give an electrical signal, inside of the DCV a spool will basically move. The spool will basically move. What is the spool? The spool is what closes and opens the valve that you have already seen, okay, prior to this. So a solenoid basically moves the spool. Now the spool may be very heavy. Sometimes it may not be easy for a solenoid to move. It may require what is called as a pilot vibe. That I will teach next. But anyway, this is basically what is a solenoid. So here what will happen is, this is the normal position. When the solenoid operates, the spring, basically the spool moves and the spring gets compressed, and this position is basically achieved. So what is happening in this position? In this position both the fluids are basically returning, or I should not draw like this, I should draw something, let's say like this. Okay, so in this case, in this particular normal position, the port P and B are attached and port A and T are attached. Whereas when you activate the solenoid, this particular position is coming. And because of this particular position coming, now the fluid is going from P to A and returning from B to tank T. Okay, so that is basically how we draw a solenoid. So when you see this symbol is basically for solenoid. Now there can be a double solenoid structure. Let me draw that. Now before that, what will we call this? This will be a 4-way 2 position solenoid, okay, solenoid DCV. Okay, now let me draw another one. So in this one we are again having 4-way 2-position DCV, and again there is solenoid here, so solenoid DCV, and here you can see that there is no return spring. So what does it mean? It means that in this one there is no normal position, okay. See, how do I explain this? Suppose if you look at the calling bell of your home, okay, if you look at the calling bell switch, the calling bell switch is a spring attached one. That means the switch will itself have a spring, so that when you press this bell, when you press the calling bell and release it, the spring will actually push the calling button off. So when you press it, it will become on, and when you release it, the spring will basically make it off. So what is the normal position of the calling bell? The normal position of the calling bell is off. Okay. Now if you are going to look at normal switch, which is let's say a switch that is operating a light. So in that, what is the normal position? The normal position cannot be said to be off, neither it can be said to be on, because that is based on your interest. If you want to make it on, you will switch it on. For that you will press the switch, and when you want to make it off, you will press it in such a way that the switch becomes off. So there is no normal position of on or off. It depends on what the user wants. So just like that, here also, based on the solenoid, sometimes this may be in use or the second position may be in use. So when there is no return spring, there is no normal position. Now take this case. Here I am going to draw a different kind of thing. It's a lever, but the lever is with a dent. There is a dent. And what the meaning of this dent is, when you push this lever, this dent gets stuck somewhere. It gets stuck somewhere, because of which it does not come back. Okay. And when you release the lever, it will come back. So here we may not draw the return spring. And in this case, we will generally call it as a lever detent, and here there are 3 ways. So 3/2 DCV, that is directional control valve. Okay, so this does not require a spring because of the detent, because of this detent. Okay, the last one, see that lever detent one won't generally be asked for you, because then we are going too much into hydraulics and pneumatics. Basically it is the solenoid one. Let me draw a last one. Now here what you can see is that I am having a solenoid, and I can even have a spring here, a return spring. Okay, I can even have a return spring, and because of this return spring, basically this will be the normal position, and this is the solenoid. That we already have studied. What is the shape and how we draw the solenoid, and solenoid will basically switch between the position. But if the DCV spool or the moving parts of the DCV are very huge, such that the solenoid is not being able to move, sometimes there will be a hydraulic system attached with the solenoid, so that it gives the power required to move the valve, positions. So in such a case, we draw it with an arrow mark, and that arrow mark basically we darken it, and that arrow mark is basically for telling that this is pilot assisted. This is pilot assisted. What do you mean by pilot assisted? Pilot assisted means that this solenoid is attached to another hydraulic system which is giving the required power to move this particular valve. So this is a pilot assisted, so I will write it, this is a pilot assisted 4/3 position solenoid, let me write it properly, solenoid directional control valve. Okay, so this is how generally we look at the schematic of a hydraulic or a pneumatic directional control valve DCV and understand what the DCV's function is. So let us return to the major topic. Thank you. So now that we have studied the how to draw the schematic of a DCV, let us once again in a formal manner try to define the ISO schemes of the directional control valve, or how we draw the ISO schemes. That is what we are going to learn here, and this is important topic because generally in examination you are asked to draw, so it is really important that you look at this very carefully. It is just a repeat of just now what we have done. Okay, so the ISO symbol display only the functions of the valve. They do not give any information about the design or the flow or the size of the orifice, that means size of the port. Nothing of that is shown. Only the function of the valve is shown. So what is the meaning of ISO schemes? ISO schemes means the schematic diagram. Just now what we have taken. Okay, so what are the basics of the ISO symbols? The first thing that we discussed was each position of the valve is represented by a square, correct? The number of squares tells you the number of position in the valve. Okay, the number of positions that the valve can take, that is by looking at the number of squares. So if you are having 3 squares, it means that there are 3 positions that this valve can take. The air pathways are represented by lines. Now when I have written here air pathways, you must understand that it is for pneumatic case, whereas in the case of hydraulics this will be fluid. So the fluid pathways are represented by lines. So you can see the lines that are coming out, or whatever we are drawing. So it might be four ways. Okay, now the direction of the airflow is represented by arrow. So we have already seen now that the arrow may be something like this, or sometimes it may be like this, or sometimes it may be straight. Okay, in case the air flows in both directions, there is a double arrow. Sometimes you will draw a double arrow also. Okay, the closed ports are displayed as T. For example, here if I show T, it means that all the ports are closed. Okay, the ports carry numbers. The numbers are only shown in the square with the basic or the normal position. So just now previous video we had seen in the previous video we had seen something like this, and here you can see that of the squares, this square I have not put any number, whereas this square I have put the number. It means that in this particular ISO designation, this square is the normal position of the directional control valve. Okay, so let us move to the next point. The type of actuation is also simplified. That means instead of numbers, you can also write letters. Okay, so let us see one by one. Okay, the number of ports and the number of positions. This is something that we have already discussed. So here you can see that the number of squares are 2. So the number of positions are 2. Okay, so the number of squares are 2, so there are 2 positions. And how many outputs are there? How many ports are there? The ports are 3 ports. So we are having 3 ports. And how do we write? We write the number of port divided by the number of positions. So what is this? This should be number of ports is 3 and the number of ways or the number of positions here is 2. So it's a 3 by 2 DCV. It's a 3 by 2 DCV. Okay. Now here this particular DCV, on the right hand side you can see the basic position. Why is it called as the basic position? Because we are calling this as the basic position or what is called as the normal position. We call it as the basic position or we call it as the normal position because of this numbering. Because of this numbering. If the number would have been written in this particular square, I would have called this square as the normal position. But now since the number is written here, this is the normal position. And see, in this particular normal position, what can you see? That port 1, the pressure supply is closed. So normally if you remember, 1 is generally for the pressure line and here the pressure line is closed. So this is pressure line is closed in this particular case. Whereas the port 2 which is working as basic position connected to port 3 which is the exhaust. So the exhaust is coming from 2 to 3. Okay, so this is the normal. Okay, so what is that called? That is called as a 3 by 2 way valve or a 3 by 2 DCV, and this is when this particular square is normal. Whereas here you can see that the numbering is in this square, so this is the normal here. Okay, and here the valve is actuated. Okay, the valve is actuated and port is 1, which is the pressure port, is now connected to the output. Okay, whereas the exhaust port is now closed. The exhaust port is now closed. Okay, now let us look at some of the common symbols that we have studied. If it's suppose, so here you can see how many ports are there. There are 2 ports, correct? This is the one port and this is the another port. And how many positions are there? Because there are 2 squares, we are having 2 positions. Okay, now a 2 by 2 way valve can either be normally closed. Why this is called as normally closed? Because the normal position 1 and 2, there is nothing passing through them, so it is normally closed. Whereas in this kind of a schematic, this is called as normally open, because the normal position which is given by the number, the square which is put with number, that means this position is the normal position. Here in the normal position I am having the fluid passing through, so this is basically a normally open 2 by 2 way valve or 2 by 2 DCV. Whereas this is a normally closed DCV, 2 by 2 DCV. So it is written as normally closed 2 by 2 DCV, or it is also written as 2 by 2 normally closed DCV. Whereas this is normally open 2 by 2 DCV. Okay. Next, this you can see and realize that this is a 3-way valve. Why is it a 3-way valve? Because there are 3 ports, and how many positions are there? There is a 2 positions. So this is a 3 by 2 DCV, which here you can see that it is normally closed because the pressure is no pressure is coming. This is the pressure line. 1 is normally the pressure line. So from 1 the pressure line is closed. So this is a normally closed one. Whereas here the normal position, we are having the pressure passing from 1 to 2. So this is a normally open. So this will be a 3/2 normally open DCV, whereas this will be a 3/2 normally closed DCV. Okay. So these are some of the common valves. Similarly, here we are having a 4/2 way valve. You can see why is it 4, because there are 4 ports and 2 position. Similarly, here we are having 5/2 DCV. Why? Because we are having here 5 ports and 2 position. Similarly, we can have a 4/3 because there are 4 ports here. There are 4 ports here, but there are 3 positions. So this is a 4/3 DCV, where the normal position is where the number is written. So this is the normal. This is the normal position. Okay, which is basically written as center closed. Okay. Next, similarly, a 5/3 way, because there are 5 ports here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there are 3 positions. So this is a 5-way 3 position DCV, which is again having the normal in the center position. So this is the normal position which is in the center. So that is basically a center closed. Okay. Similarly, now when we draw in the side of the square, we can show mechanical actuation with the help of a stem, is something like this. Or when we try to actuate it by some roller lever, then we will draw a symbol like this. Or something when we are having a roller lever with ideal return, then we basically draw this symbol. But don't worry, in this particular model you will not be asked about the mechanically actuated symbols, because generally that is not there in this 4.2, because 4.2 is basically electropneumatic. So what are the other one? One is the spring recessed, wherein we draw at the side of the box, we draw the spring. Or the air spring reset. What is the meaning of air spring reset? See, suppose if I am going to take a piston. Okay, this is the piston, and this piston, suppose there is a push button here. So there is a push button here. I push, there is air here. Okay, there is air here. Now if I am going to push the air, then this air will get compressed, isn't it? It's just like when you are operating a hand pump. When you push this, the air get compressed. When you release the force here, this will come back. That is basically what is called as an air spring. So air spring is basically drawn like this. This is a normal spring, a physical spring. This is an air spring. When you are having both the mechanical spring as well as the air spring, you will draw like this. Generally, the air spring is not drawn. Mostly it is the spring that we are having. Okay, but since I wanted to cover all the symbols, I have drawn this. Now, if there is a push button that is basically moving the positions, then we will draw like this. If there is a lever that is moving the position, we will basically draw like this. Okay, so this is for the case of a lever. This is for the case of a push button. Now, when we are having indexed or detent, remember detent, detent, D-E-T-E-N-T. Here how many detents are there? There are 2 detents, one detent and second detent. So you can, here when you push the lever, if there is a spring attached here, the spring will push this back when you release the lever. Whereas in the case of a detent, if you push the lever forward, and even if there is a spring attached here, because of this detent, this will not come back unless you give once more the push to a lever to release this detent. So here you are having 2 detent, so 2 position. Okay. or you can even move the spool or the, you can move the different positions by pushing it with feet, or what is called as a foot valve, actuated by foot. Or you can move this with the help of some pneumatic arrangement. Okay, some pneumatic arrangement means you either send air in high pressure to move the spool so that the position changes. Okay, or it can be electrical actuated with the help of a solenoid, and we all know that now the solenoid is drawn like this. Or it can be a solenoid with a pilot valve. So here you have drawn, see, if you remember, I had drawn something like this. If there is a square, I had drawn the solenoid like this, and then I had drawn the pilot like this. Now what is the meaning of this? It means that to move this spool inside this particular DCV, it is really very difficult. Lot of pressure is required, which a solenoid cannot give. So basically a solenoid will move some pneumatic system, because of which the pneumatic system will push the spool, and that is what is pilot, solenoid, pilot valve. So you are having a solenoid as well as a pilot valve. Okay, next is manual override. This is manual override. That means if you want to directly use manually, if you want to shift, this is the manual override to basically shift it between the positions. Anyway, this is also not going to be asked much. Okay, but these are all the different positions. Now in the ISO scheme of things, the numbering of ports, how do you number the the ports? I told you 1 2 3 4 5. How? All the ports in the valve are counted. Okay, and the numbers indicate the function of the port. Okay, where do you write the number? The number always appears on that square which is the basic or the normal position. So of the 3 or 4 or 5, whatever is the number of positions, if you write the number of the port here, then this is going to be the normal position. If you write the number of port in this particular square, then this is going to be the normal position. If you write at this corner the numbers, that means you write 1 2 3 like that. If you write the numbers, then this is going to be the normal. So the normal or the basic position will be the one where the numbers are already written. If there are two stable position, then implicit standard position, that means if there is no return spring. Okay, so the basic position, which is also called as the normal position, is the position the valve is without any actuation. Okay, now look at this numbering. This is something that I want you to remember. One is always connected, or one is the port which is always connected to the pressure, the input fluid or the input air is always connected to one. So directly this is coming from the pump. Okay, directly this is coming from the pump. That's why there is a pressure here. That is the pressure supply. The pressure supply is called as 1, or as we have seen, it is called as P. The working ports, these are the working ports, because this is where the cylinder is attached, the piston is attached. You remember the piston is attached to these. So these are the 4 and 2, or if there is another one, then we will write 6. Look at this, all of these are odd numbers, sorry, even numbers. So even numbers are mostly for the working ports. If it is not numbering system, then we will use A, B, C. Okay, whereas these ports which are here, these are the exhaust ports for taking out the fluid or the air. Okay, these are for taking out the fluid or the air, and if you would see, they are all named or numbered in, basically they are all numbered in odd numbers. Whereas you will either write T, which is meaning for tank, or R or S. That is what is the general nomenclature that you will use. Whereas these pilot ports, you will name these as numbers greater than 10, and that also even number, or you will name it as XYZ. So these are for these pilot ports for pneumatic case. Generally pneumatic case we are not going to study. Okay, so let us look at some of the examples. For example, what you can see here, this is basically a manually actuated. Why is it a manually actuated? Because you are having a lever here, correct, with the detent. And how many ports are there? There are 5 ports. So this is a 5 port 2 position DCV, okay, which is indexed. Index means these are the index 1 and 2. Okay, actuation is how? By the manually by a lever. 2 positions, both are stable. Now why I am saying both are stable? Both are stable means that is because they are indexed. So you can change the lever to either be in this position or to be in this position. What this one shows is that this is the normal position. So this detent and this position are connected. Okay, how many ports are there? There are 5 ports. So this is a 5/2 DCV, and this is an original image of such a DCV. Another example you can see here, this is again 5 port. Okay, this is 5 port, whereas this side it is pneumatically controlled, and this is having a return spring. So there is a mechanical spring, return spring or spring reset. There is a single pilot here. This is the single pilot, and it is pneumatically actuated. Why? Because this symbol shows pneumatically actuation. Okay, and why 5/2? Because there are 2 positions and 5 ports. And how do we actuate it? How do we move the spool? We move the spool pneumatically. That means with air. Okay, then 2 positions, one is stable, which is this one, which is the normal position. Okay, and how many ports are there? 5 ports, plus there is this pilot port, which is number 14. So this is that 14 pilot port. So here is where you will give the air. Here you will give the air, pressurized air to move the spool inside. See, this diagram is the one that is drawn here. So whenever you look at a DCV, you will always look at the schematic to understand how the DCV works. Okay, let's look at another example. This example is having 3 positions. How many ports? 5 ports. And normally you can see here that in the normal position, why is this the normal position? Because the numbering is in this particular square. So this is the normal position, and in this particular normal position, no fluid transfer is taking place. And here you can see that this solenoid is a pilot solenoid. Because of this particular triangle, you can see that this is pilot solenoid. This is also a pilot solenoid. So you can see the 2 solenoids. You can see the 2 solenoids here. You saw the solenoid, but since this is having a very big spool, the solenoid is not enough. So there is a pilot system which is basically taking care of moving the spool, and there is spring attached to it. Both sides spring is there, and both side more manual override is there. That means you can manually override it. Okay, so this is a solenoid pilot 5/3 valve with 2 spring center the spool. Why we call it as a center? Because the normal position is in the center. Like that, whenever you look at the symbols, so you can see the symbol. I'll not read each one of them. You can pause the video and look at this and read this to understand how, looking at the schematic, you can understand the valve or the DCV. In examination, you may be drawn this and asked to write this, that is this, or you may be given this and asked to draw the ISO designation or the ISO scheme of this. Okay, so with this we will stop this video. Thank you.